Hi guys, I'm back. I want to say thank you for all the amazing responses to my first video. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I definitely think this is my calling. Somebody asked me today if I was okay with sharing all this stuff online. I said I wouldn't be doing it if I wasn't. And yeah, I had years of therapy as a young child, and as an adult, I went through a lot of, times where I had to understand my history again, and as a parent, and in relationships. So anyways, I really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. So this story is about what a lot of children witness in families of abuse. And usually when there's really bad abuse in families, it's because both the parents were abused, or one of the parents was, or there was some kind of abuse. Both of my parents were. And I think my mother had a hard time understanding what was good and bad attention from my father without meaning to. She loved him, I think, and she wanted his good attention. She wanted his approval. One of the things they liked to do was play backgammon. She liked to play it. She was good at it, and she would start winning or win a lot of the time. My father was good at it too, but he was usually drunk. And he was also extremely competitive, obviously. So she'd always want to play backgammon. And my brother and I would just oh crap, not again. Because after a while we kind of knew it would happen. So she would ask, and they would start playing. And we would be in the other room watching TV or something, whatever we'd be doing, playing with each other, just little kids doing what we were trying to do, trying to be little kids and have a good time. And in the world that we were in, which was hard. But we knew this one specific time, he was really very drunk. He was always very drunk. They were playing backgammon, and my mom started to win. And as usual, he thought she was cheating. She was always cheating. In his world, she was a cheater. And he gets up, as usual, and he knocks the game, all the pieces everywhere. And usually, every time, he would go right for her and just backhand her and beat her. Bam, 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 bam. That was his thing. He liked to hold on to you, just throw you against something. Sadly, my brother experienced a lot of that too. This is not his story though. So that's what would happen to her. And sometimes he would take it to a whole nother level. And there was times where he raped her in front of us. He had to be very clear of who had the power in our home. And it was him. And he wanted to make sure that everybody knew that. One of the times, however, I think it was probably the first time I ever had an inkling that there was some kind of power or something I had over him. And that's probably why later on I was able to look at him in court and send him to prison. I was probably 3.5, something like that, maybe 4, maybe. I was very young still. But we were in their new house. And so I was about 3 when we moved in. I wasn't in kindergarten yet. I'm still preschool age. And they were playing backgammon, and she was winning. And he smacked that game all over the floor once again, and got up and had his backhand towards her and was just about to knock her silly. My mother's only 4'8". So just like I, as a little 5-year-old was maybe 3 feet tall. My mother was only 4'8". I don't know what came over me. And I hardly remember walking in. I just remember standing there in front of him in the living room. And I walked in, and he was about to knock her silly, and for my mom's account, I peed my pants. I don't really remember that part, but I guess probably saying it, peed my pants. I was 3 years old. And I looked at him and I said, "Don't you hit her." Angry, so angry at him. And he had been doing these things to me, and I was so angry. There was something inside me which just came out of me, and it was bigger than I was. But it was who I was. It was me, but it was bigger than the little body I was in. And he froze. And he stopped. My mom said his face was white. I just remember him stopped, and he stared at me, and his eyes went wide. And he looked, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I felt bigger than myself. He stopped everything, and he walked out of the house. I don't think he came home till much later, till we were all asleep and the bars had closed. But sometimes there's power in these tiny little kids, and we see it even today with these kids that are fighting and standing up for themselves and the environment and their future and gun safety and all these things. These young kids, because they have this power it's from something else. It's innocent. And it's just, comes from a love for themselves and for the people they love and for the world, and it's pretty intense. Children have this amazing power, and I didn't do that again. Trust me, that same situation happened again and again. But there's so many times where nothing could protect us from him. And I don't know how that got him to leave that day. And how he didn't end up just beating my mom to a pulp and raping her in front of us, or, turning on one of us afterwards. But these things happen. And it's important to remember that children are stronger than we think sometimes. And that they're extremely resilient, just as we all are. So, there you go. All right, guys, I love you.